like Hitler in that movie Downfall, when he's like interviewing secretaries, like that's a setting where it like makes a little.
Part of me wonders if like they've even seen the full film. Like, were they watching Downfall just for that one meme sequence? And they're like, I really love that scene where Hitler yells at everyone. Where does he yell everyone from? What is the ending of that? Did you know the time frame that Downfall takes place in? These are the last moments of Hitler's life. Like, anyways. Everybody, I have reported on Nick Fuentes seldomly. Because he's just horrifying. For the most part, it's got to be one of the mainstream, probably the most mainstream neo-Nazi that there is still operating today. I mean, there is a lot of them, but I don't think anyone has quite the reach that Nick Fuentes still has. There's also been a lot of controversy surrounding Nick Fuentes when it comes to whether or not he in fact is a closet homosexual. Now, I know there's a lot of homophobic use of the of whether or not someone is closeted, and I agree that people shouldn't speculate as to whether someone or not is closeted based solely on very strange anecdotal evidence, or use it as an insult, because sucking dick is incredibly based, and you know, being a homosexual is based as well. So anything of that nature is unusual. If someone is like, hey, by the way, you know, Donald Trump has been gargling Putin's balls for the past 3 weekends. Looks like Donald Trump has really been eating a lot of Putin's ass out, because again, he's a gay, shit like that. Yeah, that's a little bit strange. But if you happen to have an individual like Nick Fuentes, who is a raging homophobe, an incredibly huge homophobe, talks about how you know, homosexuality is degenerate, it's ungodly, it's sinful, all that kind of stuff, while at the same time having a very unusual encounter with a cat boy porn star, which again could have just been a delightful day of fun. We're not entirely sure why he was hanging out with the adult actor, who also happens to be a cat boy. It could have been because the person in question, who is the cat boy, is also incredibly racist. There might be that, so that could be what they had in common. Either way, it could have just been a couple of bros broing out. We're not entirely sure. But this new one is extra sus. This one takes things to strange new levels, and this is one of those you gotta wait for it clips, okay? So the first 2 minutes obviously are just going to be regular old Nick Fuentes freaking out, but the last like 18 seconds, that's what you really gotta pay attention to here. Also, can I also say this? Listen to this description. A woman tried to flirt with Nick Fuentes during a live stream last night, and it resulted in him having a 10-minute meltdown. Be sure to stick around to the end of this to hear and envision a scenario in which it might be appropriate for him to flirt. So again, this whole thing was provoked by someone in Super Chat flirting with him and identifying as a woman. And this is like, you can see how uncomfortable and angry it made Nick Fuentes.
What part of what you know about me would make you think that I would want to be propositioned by a woman? Much less in the super chats, no less. What part of you, or what part of me, would make you think that I would want a girl to say, you know, to ask me out on a date? I'm not going to be asked out. I will do the asking out. You know, people look at me and they think like, oh, he's like this Alex P. Keaton, like, goody two-shoes, wholesome Chungus 10,000. It's like,
no,
nah,
don't think that.
A little bit more complicated than like wanting a girl in a sundress to just lay my suits out and I wear a fedora and smoke a pipe and go, hey, honey, we're LARPing like it's the 1950s. Like, that's just so insulting. I have a little bit, it's called depth, okay? It's called depth. I have
So he was interviewed on The Blaze by a woman who at the time was accusing him, and, you know, justifiably so. Why is it that you say and do so much stuff advocating for, you know, on how women should operate, like what they should do, how their bodily autonomy should function, all these kind of things? You do a lot of condemnation of women, and yet you've never been in a relationship with one. You are, in fact, a virgin. And it wasn't intentional virgin shaming or anything like that. There's nothing wrong with being a virgin. It was more just the fact that if you've never been in a relationship with a woman, why do you advocate so much for other people in how they should conduct their own relationships? Because that seems unusual to me. It's as if you're advocating something for something you've never experienced. Similar to, I guess, how priests do. If priests have taken a lifetime of celibacy, they're not exactly the very people that I want to get relationship advice from. I feel it's kind of complicated, that whole thing, you know?
A little bit more depth to my character than just I'm some kind of like sitcom character. I'm sort of playing an important role in world history here. And the idea that, you know, some silly girl online, like I'm going to be in direct messages just sort of being like funny and flirty and fun. It's not me. It's just not going to happen. Like I said, I'm trying to think of a scenario where it would be acceptable, because some people say, oh, well, that means you're gay. And it's like, well, no, because it's not that, it's more the setting there, because there's a few scenarios where it would be acceptable.
All right, over under on what scenario all of you think would be acceptable. I have pre-watched this, so I do know what he's about to say. What do you think, chats? What do you think? What is the scenario in which it would be acceptable for someone to flirt with Nick Fuentes, okay? I'm gonna guess none of you who actually haven't seen it, because some of you may have already seen it and you're gonna pretend that you're clever by typing it out, but I'm gonna guess none of you that actually haven't seen it are going to know the scenario that he's about to paint. Because I did not see it coming, even for someone who, again, expects nothing. Nothing. So we have at a flea market with your grandma, at a gym, at a bar, church function. See, church function, probably the best guess yet. That one seems very normal, right? At a church event, perhaps afterwards, the two of us can talk through a third party. We can have a priest converse for us. We can say, can you please tell, Madeline that I am quite fond of her? And then Madeline can be like, well, can you tell Nick that he's actually quite creepy and he should shave that mustache off? Something like this. Someone is saying a cat boy, underground gay bar, 4chan, aquarium, Fight Club 2.0. Okay, none of you have got it. None of you have got it. Here we go. Get ready. Buckle up, because this again, even if you know who Nick Fuentes is still pretty surprising.
Like I said, you know, if it was a girl who was working for me, you know, like Hitler in that movie Downfall, when he's like interviewing secretaries, like that's a setting where it's like makes a little bit more sense. What part of what you
Yeah, no, you heard that right. Yeah, no, all of you heard that right. Yeah, that's right. I mean, okay, it's two things, really. He wants to sexually harass someone, and it has to be a dynamic between Hitler and his secretary, as portrayed in the movie Downfall. Like, either of those things, if you just said them on their own, I would have been like, whoa, yikes. But together, my word, Nick, you do still surprise. You do still surprise. Like, even if you'd been, maybe if it's like one of my employees and I could sexually harass her at work, that would be okay. I would be fine with that one. But I'm gonna make things infinitely more worse right now. Oddly specific, I will say, yes, oddly specific.
Like Hitler in that movie Downfall, when he's like interviewing secretaries, like that's a setting where it like makes a little.
Part of me wonders if like they've even seen the full film. Like, were they watching Downfall just for that one meme sequence? And they're like, I really love that scene where Hitler yells at everyone. Where does he yell everyone from? What is the ending of that? Did you know the time frame that Downfall takes place in? These are the last moments of Hitler's life. Like, anyways. Either way, if it does turn out that oh yeah, this is the individual. I forget her name, but she's the host of The Blaze who called him out for the woman thing. But if it does turn out that Nick Fuentes, after everything else, is a closet homosexual, that's very, very sad. It really is. It's unbelievably sad. It's sad that you've been raised your entire life and you've kind of indoctrinated yourself into believing that your own desires are shameful, sinful, what have you. Unless you're a grifter, then it's not sad. Then you're really just incredibly shitty, like unbelievably shitty. There's that. I mean, if you're just a grifter who's enjoying a whole bunch of gay sex on the side, while at the same time condemning gay people, then yeah, fuck you, absolutely. I mean, fuck you just for being the Nazi and all that kind of stuff. But that would be new layer. There's layers of fuck you. There would be fuck you upon fuck you. You know, we'd be stacking our fuck yous, as it were. You know. Ugh. Either way, really weird. Do you enjoy the Serfs but prefer not to have to use your eyeballs? Many are saying this. Well, we've got the solution for you. It's the Serf Times in podcast form. Available on most major podcasting networks now. If you enjoy it, please consider leaving a good review and feedback because it really helps the show out, apparently, and it's free, just like the podcast.
To our gods, Xander Corvus and Peyton L. Just, we beseech thee to smite down our enemies. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, we are but your humble court jesters, here to amuse you. To our lords, Trevor R., we give thanks for this spit of land for us to eke out this meager existence. To our knights, Merid, Cheryl Alvarez, Ruby Kelly, Ellie Leslie, Alex P., Brandon, Words Greenwood, Nate, that one guy, Hagbird Celine, Matthew Scarborough, Stellar Vision, Ariane McCarthy, Daniel Sutton, Coulter Smith, Val 9000, Jenna Tall, Quiet 185, Anna Loves Riley, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, The Tim Caucus, Multi Mondi, Trevor Yanis, Lemmy 101, Anthropophojak, Cern 42, Catherine, Radical Maniac, Ramon Acosta, Nkosin, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Political Puppy, Andreas Chiringuito, Zach Christensen, Josh Mickelson, Todd Buckingham, and Todd Lajeunesse. We raise our flag in a veil, and we salute you, our friends.